Good morning, everybody. Wow, I look like hell this morning. I woke up I woke up a little while ago and the dog threw up. So, yes, it's been kind of an interesting morning so far. I'm just exhausted. Why does the intro make you want starbursts? Oh, because you think he looks like a starburst? Right? Mason's gonna hurt you, man. What's up, everybody? I hope everyone's having a good morning. Yeah, I'm super exhausted, man. I don't know why. I just not feeling it this morning. I was like, man, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do the show, but I was like, the show must go on. The show must go on. So thank you everybody for joining. I don't really have a whole lot this morning, to be honest. I usually try not to work on a video like the night before the show because there's usually a lot of prep that goes into the show. I mean, yeah, as much prep as I'm gonna do, but yeah. So I didn't have a whole lot prepared, but yeah, we'll talk about a couple things. And let's see, how's everyone doing this morning? Yeah, AZ Cowboy 1. I look tired. I can tell I do. That's all right though. We'll figure it out. All right, already hot and heavy. Stringer Films comes in with the $2 super chat. He says, Ralph, can you wait 5 more minutes? We're chatting here. Yeah. All right, hold on. I'll start the show another time. Nick Madsen, what's up, buddy? How are ya? Mason's in the house. Chad's here. Arcade Eric. Jason. Lewis Chambers. John, how are you, bud? Anyway, I could sit here all day and say hi to all of you, but I'm just gonna blanket statement. Thank you for joining, and I appreciate everyone being here. So I'm gonna cut the music here. So something that was kind of interesting over the last couple of weeks, IAAPA happened, and there was it's this big trade show for it. It's interesting because it's a very big trade show, and they cover like, I'd say the event is really geared toward a place like a Castles and Coasters, like a local amusement park, right? Because local amusement parks most likely going to have a really huge arcade. They're going to have roller coasters or amusement rides. And so they showcase all those things there. They have roller coasters. Some are set up and some are just models and stuff like that. But then they also have big experience rides where, like, if you're a small arcade, there's no way you're going to be able to afford them, right? Because they're expensive. They're like, 50,000, 100,000 or more. But there was one that really caught my attention where I was like, man, that's cool as hell. There seems to be like this trend, right? I don't know if you guys have gone to a family fun center or family entertainment center. I think they're called FEC lately. But in certain markets, you'll find they have these big, almost like VR type things, and there's all different companies that make these VR things, and it's like it's interesting because, like, part of me was thinking, well, why would I go to an arcade to play a VR game when I can play VR games at home? But I think what they're trying to do is like, and this is tough because if you're a small arcade, there's no way you're going to be able to afford these types of things. I think they're trying to create sort of what they did like sort of what they did with video games, where like you'd go to the arcade and the arcade would be a better experience than what you had at home, but it would sort of promote you. Hey, I'll use this for example, like Ghostbusters is at the arcade, but the Ghostbusters at the arcade is way better than the one at home. It's a bad example because I think that game kind of sucks, the arcade game, but then you could get it at home. So it was kind of like one market was feeding the other. And they don't really have that in arcades anymore because, with Raw Thrills making games, they don't make a home version of their games. I wish they did. Like, I think it'd be really cool if there still was a market, like, I don't know, maybe it'd be a good question for you guys. If like, just pretend we live in a world where arcades never died, right? And these companies, or let's just pretend that instead, let's just pretend that right now, Raw Thrills decided to say, hey, whatever games we release in the arcade, we're going to release at-home versions, but commercial quality, like really good quality versions for at home. Like, would that be of any interest? Because the thing is that market doesn't exist, right? There is no, it's not like pinball where if I go to a barcade and I play 007, I can buy 007 for my house. It's not like I can go, I mean, sure, you could buy Cruise and Blast for your house, but it's going to cost you $10,000. You know what I mean? Like, would that be a market that anybody would be interested in? I'm just curious. They would be expensive though. I mean, like we're talking, maybe their at-home version's a couple $1,000, 2,500, $3,000. You know what I mean? Would that be something that you'd even be interested in if there was a title you really wanted? I mean, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. There's people that have filled their whole entire room with arcade one-ups. That's not cheap nowadays. So I'm just curious, like, is that something that would be interesting? Like, are they missing out? Should Raw Thrills or some of these other companies create at-home versions, like as if the market never stopped, right? Because pinball does it. Like, that's the interesting difference. Yeah, ice has them though, but I don't know whether that's not, like, you know what I mean? Ice has them, and I don't think ice is unsuccessful in that. I just think their demographics different. Like, they're dealing with like $5,000, $10,000 machines, but I'm talking like bring it down, right? Like, could you make a Raw Thrills $2,500 commercial cabinet for your house? I don't know. But the reason why I'm saying this is that I think they're trying to feed with these big VR experiences. I think that's feeding the at-home VR. You know what I mean? Like, give them something, because that's the thing. Like, are the arcade experiences for VR better than what I can get at home? And I can't remember the statistic. Like, we think that a lot of people have VR at home, but I don't think a lot of people do. Like, I think that number is actually pretty low right now. Like, the attach rate for virtual reality is low. But it makes me wonder, like I was thinking why would I play VR at an arcade? I have a Oculus Quest 2, you know what I mean? It works great. And I feel like it has a good experience. They now have games where you can like set up large geofences, like huge, not geofences, but huge, I can't remember what you call the technology to restrict you. But yeah, I don't know. Is this something that like people would want? To put it in the chat if you do. I don't know. I'm just thinking like, what I was thinking about this over the weekend. I'm like, what is different about pinball than arcade? And the difference is that pinball never really, they continued to have a home market where people are paying the same price. I'm probably higher, but if someone owns a barcade, they're probably buying them in bulk. They may even finance them. They may have profit sharing with like someone that puts it on location. But anyways, so that comes to my topic here that I wanted to talk about is I'm going to see if I can upload this video really quick, because I wanted to show you guys there's something that I thought was really neat. And I was like, wow, that's a unique experience that you couldn't get at home. Actually, before we do that, I jump around all over the place, but before we do that, I got to show you guys this. So do you guys remember, I'm trying to see if my portable camera will work. Let's see. Okay, it does. Except it flips it, because I'm using a different piece of software, so it flips it reversed. But check this. Do you guys remember these? Tell me if you remember these. Remember? Okay, this looks like it's a switchblade, but it's not. It's one of those switchblade combs. Do you guys remember these? Like, did you have one of these growing up? Because I saw that they still sold these, and I was like, oh, wow, cool. But except this one is not like the ones I remember. This is like crazy metal. Like, this whole thing is metal. If we had these in school, we would have got so screwed. So check this out. I'm gonna whip this thing out, but wait till it's hard to do this because the camera's actually reversed. You had one of these, right? Yeah, Jonathan says he has one. The comb, yeah. But check it out. Watch this. Okay, this blade is freaking metal. Dude, ours were not metal. It was like a plastic comb. So I was thinking I was going to put one of these in my son's stocking. And I'm like, dude, you could actually like freaking legit hurt someone with this thing. I took mine to school too, but it was freaking plastic. It wasn't this crazy. I'm not kidding you. Look at this. I want to just prove to you a point. It's freaking metal, bro. like, look. Like you could literally hurt someone with it. So when I opened it, it had like a safety on it. I'm like, why the heck does it have a safety? It's a freaking plastic comb. And I busted it out and I hurt my hand. I was like, dude, like, look at this thing. Watch. I'm gonna prove. I can't. The dogs are probably sleeping, so I can't really. But like, why can't I get this right? Look, I mean, this thing whips out. Freaking metal, bro. You had a metal one? No way. Remember, you were like, what's up, baby? You comb your hair. Like, you want to mess with me? Oh, I don't think you want to mess with me. Anyways, I don't know why I thought so. I saw, I don't know what made me think of these, but I was like, man, I should put one in my son's stocking. And then I'm like, well, I'm not putting that in his stocking. He'll get freaking in trouble in school. I mean, if there's kids watching Santa obviously is the one that, but look, it's kind of neat, right? Like, I want to carry this thing around. I feel like I feel like kind of a badass for this Switchblade coming. Yeah, this thing's awesome. Yeah, man. So yeah, it was funny because before the stream, I put this on the table and I didn't even notice it was here, but there was like a can of Red Bull, and I opened it up and it flinged the can. I want to do it, but like the dogs might wake up, and then Kim's not feeling good. I'm actually not feeling good either. I don't know what's going on. Something's going around everywhere. Anyways, I'm gonna shut that light off. We don't need this camera anymore, but I'm glad it works. I just wish that the software that I'm using is pretty fun. It's pretty easy to use. But I had but it gives me less options, so I'm probably gonna switch back to what I was using before. All right. So JJ says, I had one just like that back in the 80s, and a lot of the folks would take the plastic comb part out and try to put some sort of blade in its place to have an actual switchblade. I guess you could just buy a switchblade, but yeah, that's crazy, man. This one, I swear to God, if you just sharpen this, you'd end up with a freaking. Actually, it wouldn't be a bad beard. Wouldn't be a bad beard comb, to be honest. I might use it for that. Just kind of in the morning, be like, I need some like music that would be, like like that kind of music. I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about. All right. Anyways, so if you want, I guess I'll put a link in the bottom if you wanted to buy one of these. But I tell my nieces I miss them. Yeah, they're not feeling good this morning. Or Bella's not. She threw up. Okay, we got a super chat from How to Bachelor. He says, let's go. Like, comment, subscribe. Love you, Ralph. Love you too, man. I've been really bad at responding to everyone on all social media platforms. So congrats on the house. It looks like you might have closed on it. So that's awesome. Trying to follow that How to Bachelor journey, man. I'm glad things seem to be working out, and I appreciate the super chat. All right, we got Stringer here with a $2 super chat. The guy was a big Retro Ralph fan and didn't kill me. Oh, so you sold the stool? That's cool, man. That's awesome. Do you need Todd's permission to self-groom on air? I don't know. I'm going to have to ask him. Want to hear something funny? The Garage Gamer's kind of joking right here, and he says, use the promo code Ralph just for men. Well, Nick Madsen, who you all know, he was in my last video, good friend of mine. He posted something about him just fermenting his beard on Twitter, and Just for Freaking Men responded to him, like actual Just for Men. He's like, do you think this is real? I go, click on it. I don't see why not. Like, why would someone make up someone would probably make up a Just for Men account, but it was legit. Just for Men really responded to Nick's post. I was like, that's cool. So that was pretty neat. I actually think I was going to propose this to Stringer. I was like, shoot, we should see if Just for Men can sponsor the next, conference video or something, because they probably would. Okay, I'm gonna try to see if I can upload this video really quick. I don't know if I can, because let me see. I'll see if I can though. Video storage. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna see if I can upload this, and then if I can, it's something I need to edit, but I didn't edit it in time, so I'll just show you the raw footage. I've been, the Arcade Heroes. If you haven't ever checked out Heroes, go check them out. They used to own 2 arcades in Utah, but now they only own, I think they're getting rid of one. I guess it didn't work out through the pandemic, but good guys over there. And they post a lot about industry-wide stuff. So industry-wide, meaning like the current state of arcade locations. They're not a bar. They just have arcade games. They don't have any, they don't have, and they actually don't do their arcade, which I've never been to, by the way, but they don't have any ticket redemption. And he's done videos publicly like, hey, ticket redemption's how these places really make money. And it's true. A lot of these locations, especially like at Castles and Coasters here locally, I've seen the numbers. They make a lot of money on the ticket redemption stuff. It's not like the other games don't, but they lag behind the ticket redemption. Obviously, that's because kids go in and they play all those ticket games. But Hold on, I know there's a couple of super chats I'm missing, but let me just I'm stuck in this one screen where I'm uploading a video, so I can't actually. Oh, there we go. Shit. I don't know if that was good or bad. I don't know if that killed the upload, but anyway. All right, I got a super chat from Haywood. It looks like Jabroni, but it's Jablomi. Jablomi. Haywood. Oh. Not cool, bro. I walked right into that. I'm named after my grandmother. Wow. Yeah, it is early in the morning, clearly. Thank you for the super chat from Canada, I think. I don't know. It says Canadian. So awesome. Someone's going to clip that crap. All right, what's that? I thought it was Jabroni. That's really funny, actually. West Side Story music would go with the Switchblade grooming. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for the super chat, Chad. All right, let me see. You guys are such jerks. All right, let me see if I can find this video. Hold on one sec. It's still processing. All right, well, once that's done processing, we'll check that out. But what I was talking about, let's circle back to the original conversation, is they have these. I think that the VR markets are trying to. I'm Canadian, unfortunately. Hey, there's nothing wrong with being Canadian. I went up to Canada a couple. Oh no, man, it's probably a lot of years ago now. I think it was 6 or 7 years ago, and I had a great time, and everyone was super nice. Love Canada, neighbors to the north, baby. I'm glad you guys like that. So I think that VR has been a struggle with it. So I'll rewind even further. I had been talking to Cole Grantham, who's the general manager, one of the general managers over at Castles and Coasters, and we had been talking about maybe we open a VR arcade. And my hesitation, and we'd have some retro games in there. My hesitation around that is that I feel like the technology gap is like not as wide anymore. So like what you can experience at home is pretty good. But then I was reading an article that was talking about how there aren't that many people that own at-home VR, so they can have those experiences in an arcade and they can be unique. But the problem is, I don't know. I guess I'm not sold on that. And the other thing I'm not sold on is I feel like I did a ton of research for the last I stopped over the last couple months, but it was months ago. I was talking to all these vendors about VR, and it's like, are they attendant free? Because some of these have like VR Agent, which is a Sega game. The headset comes down and it's attendant-less, so you don't need an attendant. And then when you're done with the game, the headset goes back up. But it's still on a wire. I just feel like there's so much to break. I don't know. I don't feel like they're reliable enough. So I feel like if you were an arcade owner and you had these machines, like some of the VR machines have motion, so there's hydraulics involved. And I'm like, man, if that stuff breaks, that's going to suck. So I feel like I don't trust the reliability of it. And I can't personally fix those kinds of things. If it was an old retro game, sure, I could fix that. I could feel comfortable fixing it. But I did a little bit of research. There's a local place here that has a bunch of VR games. And I went and like 30% of the games were broken. And I'm all, shit, this doesn't make me confident that I could open a VR location and keep all the machines running. Because that's the worst thing. If you ever talk to Todd Tuckey, he always says, if you own an arcade bar or an arcade, if there's a bad machine that's not working, get it off the floor. Or because the thing is, people walk into an arcade and they see broken machines and it gives them a bad experience, and then they don't want to come back. So there's a bunch of. So I'm curious. So Ralphie, hey buddy, how's it going, man? He says they have VR gaming at the Game Lab in downtown Riverside. Very familiar with Riverside. I used to live in Orange County, so I'd take the toll road over there sometimes. But I'm curious, like, how's the condition of the machines? And do you feel like the experience you get there is unique enough or not? You know what I mean? But that's the thing. I've been considering it for a while, man. I don't. Here's the thing, right? To open up a barcade, you need to know about bars. I have I shouldn't be opening up a bar. I've never ran a bar. I don't know anything about that side of the business. I've never worked in a bar. So like, and neither has Cole. So it's like, if I don't have that experience, I feel like that's the part that makes a barcade successful, is the bar itself. I think if you had someone that was really knowledgeable about running a bar and I could handle the gaming side of it, then that'd be something unique. But I don't think here in Arizona, I really don't think here full time you could have an arcade with no alcohol and make money. There is one called Starfighters, but the thing is, it's only open on the weekend and it's like a hobbyist place. I don't know the people that own it personally, but I get the vibe that they needed places to store their games. So they're like, cool, let's just put our collection in this place and we'll open it on the weekend. So that kind of, I really think that's what it is. So that's not going to work. But anyways, I wish, man. So here's the thing. I don't know if I talked about this on a prior show. I wanted to reboot the show Starcade. If you're not familiar with Starcade and you're a fan of arcade gaming at all, you'd love it. Go to YouTube, type in Starcade, and you'll see there's a Starcade YouTube channel. I don't know if that's someone that has the rights to it or not, or if it's just a random channel that has. I'm not really sure. I didn't look at the owner of the channel, but it's super fun. If you like, oh hey, Bob is here. But if you like arcade gaming, you'll love Starcade. But yeah, I was gonna reboot that show. Bob, what's up, man? So let's open up a Token Taverns. I know, dude. Yes. So Bob is the producer, creator of Token Taverns documentary, which I have a little part in. So thank you, Bob. Really appreciate that. That was awesome. Really cool experience. We filmed it all virtually. It was really cool. Bob was on it was weird. We had my camera. I had my monitor so I could see what I was doing. And then Bob was right next to me, like as I was filming via FaceTime. It was really cool. Since you're here, Bob, is there a trailer I could play, or are we still not doing that yet? I would love to be able to play a trailer. So, guys, I'm gonna obviously hype the crap out of this movie when it comes out, but yeah. So Token Taverns is a documentary about barcades. It's really fun. I haven't seen all of it. I've seen bits and pieces, but it's really great. It follows the journey of a couple barcades. Also, it does involve sort of pre and post. They don't refer to it in the movie like this. I don't 100%, but it's like before the pandemic and after the pandemic. So how are these places doing? How are they doing before and how are they doing after? Which is really interesting, by the way, to see that a lot of these places are really flourishing, post pandemic. Some unfortunately didn't make it, but the ones that did are doing really well now. So that's encouraging, right? Because I love those places. A place when Nick was in town, myself, Kim, and Nick went to one called Level One. They have a great pinball selection. They got some arcade games too, and we had a good time. And it wasn't really that expensive, right? We spent $20 on tokens, and we played some pinball for a couple hours, and then left. It was super fun, and they had a good selection of pinballs too. Ooh, that was weird. They had Tales of the Arabian Nights, which you don't see that often on location for whatever reason, but that's a fun one. Okay, super chat from Chad. He said, there's a TMNT arcade game based on the 2012 Nick cartoon that is better than Shredder's Revenge. It's not VR, but I wish they would port it to home systems like they used to. Yeah, there's a lot of games like that don't get ported, like Raw Thrills. I think it was Raw Thrills did a Rampage. So I didn't really see the chat. I'm sorry. I was trying to. Yeah, they are thriving, man. I was trying to see if I could get much feedback on if Raw Thrills had an at-home version of some of their products. It would be really cool. I know I'd be interested, but that market would take some real promotion. But I think there's definitely an interest there. If you look at how many people have invested in Arcade 1-Up products, at Games products, like all these other at-home sort of like bring home, build, and enjoy, right? There isn't like a lot of upfront work that you have to do other than building it. So that tells me that there's really a market for it. But I don't know. Maybe there isn't for that price point. I think there is, though. But we'll see. Will there be another Chasing Nostalgia episode 2 soon? Yeah, Tommy, I've been meaning to respond to you, and I'm sorry. I've been really bad at social media stuff. But yeah, there will be. So it's not going to be till next year. So I took that break. That was a legit break I needed to take from it because work was getting busy. It takes a lot of time and effort to get that show filmed. So I'm pretty sure I know the next location. And hey, I'm gonna. There's an account in there that's been doxing someone. So I don't know who it is, but unfortunately, I have to block you, just because I can't support that kind of stuff, and I don't support that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna block that without bringing too much attention to it. So Tommy, will there be another Chasing Nostalgia? Yes, there will be. I'm gonna start that next year again. I know who it's gonna be. I just have to coordinate going out to visit them, but I think it'll be an episode that everyone will really enjoy. Okay, Stringer's got a super chat. Did you take Nick to play foosball? It's games. Yeah, Ramsey thinks it is, but no, it's not. But no, we didn't play any foosball. But thank you for the super chat, my friend. So I might have missed Bob. I might have missed if Bob's answered my question on the Oh, thanks, man. It was so fun. Thank you for including me. It was really, really fun. And I'm looking forward to the movie being released. So it'll be fun to promote that here and get people into it. Okay, let me show you guys that video really quick, and then I want to talk about the main topic, which is selling games at auction, because I've never actually sold the game at auction myself, and I'm going to do that. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But before we do that, let me play this video really quick. I'm going to try to play it and I'm going to kill the sound on it because I don't want it to be super loud. But this is, so just so you know, this is Arcade Heroes. Definitely go support these guys. So when I was talking about VR experiences that I think are unique, this is one to me. Crap, sorry that the doxing account still is in there. I'm sorry, man. Let me, I don't know why I blocked it. Okay. Hopefully that goes away. Shoot. Hey, Lewis, if you're in here, could you, can you see if you can take care of that? I think you know what it is. It looks like I can't for whatever reason. All right. It says they're blocked, but it's not. It's still coming through. Sorry, I apologize for the distraction. Okay. So when I was talking about VR, I'm like, well, why would VR be successful in an app, in a bar location, or not a bar, but an arcade location or a family fun center? Our family entertainment center, and I was like, well, if you offer a unique
chances are, if you've been out
to isn't anything new. Hologate's been around
family
for years,
entertainment center like Dave & Buster's.
They licensed some IP.
I don't think they have this particular one, but there's a lot of
Ghostbusters licensed game, and now there is going to be a Ghostbusters game on Oculus Quest 2, but I don't remember when that comes out. I think it's coming out in 2023. But when I saw this, I was like, man, this is unique. But it would be super expensive. So that little Blitz, it's called the Blitz. It's like an hydraulic sort of device
VR
that
Academy.
moves around when you're
so
playing
the first
the game.
one uses their Blitz
and I'll see if I can move forward where you can see it actually playing. But this setup is really cool.
What this does is,
but Hologate systems are expensive. I looked into pricing on one of these, so when I was looking at maybe opening that VR location, I saw this, and I was like, man, not this, but I saw Hologates, and I was like, man, Hologates are super expensive.
Guessing that
just the cost of entry. I think if you had a popular enough location or a big enough location, you could probably
with
audio fighting
based stuff
why,
that can
lower that volume. Is this loud? I can't actually. I have it down all the way. Sorry, I'm missing super chat. Is it loud for you guys?
Wasn't huge.
Turn that volume. Lower that volume. I don't know why I don't have any volume on it at all. Weird. I don't know why it's playing volume. I tried it turned down all the way. All right, let me just skip through the video. So, anyways, I'm sorry that the volume is so loud. 2 audio feeds are off. We can't understand you. I don't know why I don't have that audio. I don't know. I don't have that on at all. It shouldn't be playing. So, all right, on my end, it's not even playing. I don't know what's going on with it. So I just won't. I won't do it. I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't know why that's happening. But yeah, so I'll maybe try to pull a clip. I'll remove the audio from the clip. But essentially, you're driving and playing along with the game. And it would have been really cool to show you this, but if the volume's really loud, then I can't. I can't. Yeah, I don't know. I have the volume literally of the clip all the way down, so I'm sorry that it's something you can't hear. But anyway, so this is the car. This thing goes up in the air, but this is what I mean. The whole point of this was to show you that there are these unique experiences that you can't have at home. There isn't like you're not going to buy a. You're not going to buy a $100,000 VR arena for your house, but at the same time, I'm thinking, all right, if you invest in one of these and you're a barcade or arcade, not bar, I keep saying barcade, sorry. If you're an arcade, like, first of all, when do you get your return on investment? And I'm sure when you buy it, there's all this math they give you, like they do. I've gone through these places and they give you like all these, a spreadsheet that says this is when you'll pay it back. And it's like, well, it's based on a certain amount of foot traffic and all this stuff. Thank you for the super chat, Chad. I forgot to mention that. And, there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee that you're going to get that kind of foot traffic and make that kind of money. But I do think there is a market for a unique VR experience like that. But then I'm wondering, all right, if you invest $100,000 whatever it is, like you're financing this thing for 180 grand, $100,000. It's a lot of freaking money. Number one, how fast do you pay it back? When it breaks, that sucks, because if it breaks during that time, that's more money potentially. Or if there's a warranty that I don't know how well they actually service those things. Man, I'm gonna take this chat off because I keep getting that account keeps popping in here and I don't know why. So yeah, so to me, there's a potential that you could have VR games like that on location and they would work out really well because they're unique experiences, but the investment is huge. And so that's the thing. I'm like torn because I want to open something, but if I'm going to open something, it's going to be my primary business. And I can't do my day job in that at the same time. It'd probably be impossible. So it's like, I need something that I know is going to make a good amount of money, or at least be able to support my family. And maybe I don't take a paycheck for a while so that we can make that happen. I don't know. It's tough. It's like I've been torn on the idea and concept for a really long time because I want to do something, but I just don't know if it's feasible for me, man. I just feel like a lot of people have secondary jobs so they can like do that and do their day job. But yeah, I don't know. All right, let's see. Headshake TV just got back from Arizona. Glad to see Castles and Coasters. So rad. Yeah, it's they're doing some remodeling of the arcade too, which is really cool. All right, I'll spill the beans on the Afterburner. Ralphie's asking about the Afterburner. So the Afterburner, I'm obviously not going to be able to get of the full motion deluxe version of Afterburner. It'd just be too difficult for me to do, and honestly, I don't really have the space. But I did find via Nick Madsen and a friend of his, he had an Afterburner stand-up, which is really, it's taking a really long time to get here, and I don't know why. It could have been because of the holiday. I'm guessing I'm going to get the call either today or tomorrow. So I will have an Afterburner stand-up, which I'm excited about. It has a couple of little problems with the main board, but I think it's going to be easy stuff to fix. This is interesting by Arcade Eric. He said, did anybody watch the Mario trailer? I actually watched. So Mason forced me to watch it. I'm not super into movies like that. I don't know why. Like I liked Wreck-It Ralph. I thought that was really good, but because my name's in the movie title. But I'm kidding about that. But but then I saw it and it looked interesting. I don't know. It seems like a lot of movies like that when we were kids were shitty. Like they weren't good. Like they weren't great games. They weren't great movies. So, I mean, we thought they were good as kids, but then we watched them as adults. These, like you look at the Sonic movie, they're well produced and the characters look good. The stories are decent. So I'm going to probably go see it, but I did watch the trailer and it looked good. All right. Thank you for the super chat. Stringer, he said, let's start an arcade at the Nudist Colony. They don't have an arcade currently, I don't think, at the Nudist Colony, but I don't know, man. That's not, imagine servicing those machines. Hey, sir, could you please step back from the machine a little bit? Like, I don't know. I don't think I want to do that. Who knows? What if they were like, yeah, we could use one, and it was like all lucrative and stuff? Like, what if they were like, yeah, we'll pay a ton of money to have an arcade in here? I'll be like the first. Actually, I wonder if there is. Do you think there's an arcade at any Nudist colonies in the United States? I'm sure there are. I bet that exists. I don't know what you mean. Where's the Cruisin' Blaster 18-wheel trucker movie? Yeah, I don't think you could do a movie based on the 18-wheel. Well, yes, there is a movie on 18-wheel trucker. It's called Over the Top. And then Cruisin' Blast, I don't know. That's Fast and the Furious. That Fast and the Furious new game looks pretty badass, by the way. That's not a coin slot. Yeah, exactly. Watch where you put things. You'll have signs, do not insert anything here. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's a little rough. I don't know if I want to deal with that. There's an Airbnb with a full arcade in the basement. That would be a rad episode. I did see that. That is very cool. Yeah, I don't know. That's always a possibility. See, the problem is I have to be real selective because, and I do agree that would be a really good episode. But I can't travel as much, and actually right now at work, this like opening just opened up at my day job. And I was like, it's kind of interesting. Actually, I got to be careful talking about that in case work people are watching the stream. But yeah, I was thinking about this one position opened up. I was like, which is at my company. But yeah, work has kind of gotten busy and it's really forced me to slow down things as far as YouTube goes. I had this grandioso vision that, yeah, I definitely had this idea in my head, I think 4 years ago that this would be further along than it is. And then I came to the realization probably, I don't know, probably like during the pandemic where I'm like, you know what, it's a very niche topic, right? There's definitely, if you look at arcade gaming, I think when it really surged in popularity was before like all these other products came out, was really a long time ago. Like it had a wave of popularity. I'm not saying it's not popular now, but there was a time where it was really hot. And also retro gaming, all that stuff was like as hot as well. And there was a lot of channels that made really large channels from being sort of like, you know, in that niche. I'd say like someone like Metal Jesus Rocks or John Hancock or John Riggs, like they have very large channels based on retro gaming. But I think, you know, some of those audiences don't seek out other people as much. You know what I mean? Like they have the people they watch. And but even those audiences aren't huge outside of like Metal Jesus Rocks, who has a huge audience, but his topic area is a lot wider. I'm just arcades. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna keep pushing forward. You know what I mean? See how big we can grow it. But I'm also a realist, and I know that there's only so far it can go with this particular topic, unless something else happens, like a compelling event happens that would change the trajectory of it. But thank you, Raspberry Pizzle Gaming. So you should have said something. It's a super chat for $10. I really do appreciate that, but I wish you had said something. But you don't have to pay to say something, obviously. So say something if you want to. That'd be awesome. But I appreciate the super chat. Stringer says we definitely would need risers. I don't know what that was in. That was probably just what is going on with this account. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry, guys. I keep blocking it and it keeps coming back. It's like worse than the show me your boobs one that pops up from time to time, or hot girls click here, or whatever it is. We need that's not happening, brother. We need the Retro Riff documentary from riches to rags. Yeah, actually. Well, I'm not rich, but YouTube is that direction. The amount of money you invest into it, you do become, yeah, it's funny. But, oh, okay, cool. Castle Park. Yeah, let me know, dude, either in here or offline how well that location does in Riverside for the VR, because I was in Orange County, California with Mason filming Chasing 6. Is it 6 or 5? I can't remember how many we've done now. Maybe it was 5. We were filming that with Pixel Game Squad and Captain's Auctions, which I have to get to because we're almost through the show and I still haven't talked about it. But there was a VR location in the Irvine Spectrum. So if you're ever in Southern California, there's sort of this, if you're in Southern California and you're on the 5 or the 405 going south, I think it's the 5. I can't remember. The two meet. Anyways, I think it's the 5. You'll see on the right-hand side, or the left if you're on the other side of the freeway going north, but you'll see this big carousel. And that's like a big shopping area. It's kind of like a fancy outdoor shopping area, but they have a VR location and they were killing it. He's like, yeah, we're expanding into the building over there. And I know Irvine is not cheap for rent. Like Irvine, California is going to be very, very expensive for rent. So they must be killing it. And I was shocked because what they had in there it was probably on par with your at-home experiences. They had a couple of these like ride VR games, which were a little unique. But again, those freak me out because I feel like they could break and stuff like that. So I don't know. I have huge reservations on like starting a VR bar because I feel like, could I maintain it? And then a lot of the companies that sell the products are from China. And I'm like, well, how well do they support it in the US? Because you'll buy the equipment from China, they ship it over, they even send people over to help set it up. But it's like, well, when they're gone, like what's the serviceability of a movable hydraulic ride? And the Arcade Heroes guys talk about this all the time. They talk about how they can't afford the investment in some of these VR things. And they talk about the maintenance. So I don't know. Rudy Roundhouse is alive. He's alive. I love this. Hey, Ralph, brought to you by Carl's Jr. Dude, are we going to blow up that, or are we going to do that thing in the desert with that one arcade? You put in the approval. Something's going to go boom in the desert. Yeah, baby. It could be the epic intro to a movie. I have this all movie, but I have a video scripted out of my head, and I know there's going to be a little controversy because there's going to be pyrotechnics in it. Stuff is going to blow up, and it might be arcade related, but we're going to have to take one for the team on this for the purposes of entertainment. You could argue there's some historical significance to the cabinet, so maybe we don't. I don't know. I want to do it so bad. Who didn't watch Desperado back in the day and see Antonio Banderas and whatever the hell her name is walking away from that blowing up car? Like, that's badass. Anyways, I don't know what's going on. What the hell are you guys talking about? No, it is not sponsored by Dick's. Nothing is sponsored by Dick's. I got to tell you something. That whole episode, it got flagged. It said not safe for advertisers, which I thought was interesting. Wow, there's a lot of this account is out of control, by the way. I don't know what the heck it is or who it is, but it is out of freaking control. So Lewis, thank you for doing that. So what do you do? Rudy, did you figure it out? Tell me if you got the approval. So Rudy was basically putting in an approval so we could blow some stuff up in the desert. So definitely get on Rudy. Be like, man, check your email. See if they approved it. Yeah, Selma Hayek. That's who it was. Was that not a cool ass scene? Anyway, there's a video. There's a recent video of Bob Burgers sent around a crappy VR arcade. I know that's the thing. Like, it could be crappy, but it could be good. Like, VR Agent by Sega is so cool. And I have a video on that somewhere on my channel. It's when we went out to that expo in Las Vegas, and it was awesome. All right, so the thing we're going to talk about is, so for the first time ever, I'm selling a couple systems at Captain's Auction. So one, I made a mistake. I bought NFL Blitz, the real NFL Blitz 99. I got all excited because everyone that was buying the arcade one-up was like, oh my God, NFL Blitz. And I was thinking to myself, after I had it and I played it a little bit, I was like, man, I haven't played NFL Blitz. And like, there are arcade games that I play on the regular. That wasn't one of them. I loved it. We used to play it on Dreamcast. We used to play it on N64. But like, I like the game. It's fun. But it wasn't like one of those games where I was ultra nostalgic for it. So I was like, why did I buy this? I mean, plus it took up a ton of space. Four player, control panel, arcade games, they take up a lot of space. You could fit almost like 1.5 in that space. So you could easily squeeze 2 in if you had the room on either side. So those games don't really, if you are going to do a 4-player control panel, you better love the games that are in those cabinets. So I got rid of it. So that's going off to Captain's Auctions. I didn't do anything to it. As is, it works. I didn't do anything to it, though. It's a 4-player NFL Blitz, so you will see that as part of Captain's Auctions. And I was looking at the more recent terms, and of course I closed that. Well, no, I didn't close that window out. So the recent terms for Captain's Auctions, I'll share this with you. So this is important. If you're going to bid at Captain's Auctions, you also need to know this. So understand that when you are going to buy something at Captain's Auctions, now read this with me so you understand it. Highest bidder purchase price. So first of all, if I win it for $500, okay, $500. But there's an 18% buyer's premium. So you have to be aware of that. So just know that like your purchase price isn't necessarily the price you're walking away from it. And then also there's the shipping cost. So you have to factor those things in. So you can't just like buy it and be like, all right, I'm cool. Here's my budget. Like you have to be aware of the bidder premium. Now the bidder premium is online and it's the same online as it is on site. That was different before. I think on site it was slightly lower, but and plus sales tax. But the sales tax, there's a caveat on the sales tax. I can't remember. Like if you pick it up or something, I can't remember. Although it's not listed here. So anyway, so just keep that in mind. Don't go in there and be like, yeah, man, buy all this stuff and then realize, oh, crap, there's the 18% premium. Like go in there understanding that there's that 18% premium. Otherwise, you're going to be a little upset. And if you have to pay shipping on top of it. So it's ideally, if you live in California, it's much better to bid at Captain's Auctions and then pick it up, right? Then you don't have to pay shipping fees. But if you're not in California, then you don't have that luxury. So you got to do what you got to do. But yeah, I sent them I did send them the, you guys saw the Road Blasters. I finished the Road Blasters. And, oh man, now we got those. See? Now we got this to deal with. My hot photo here. No, get away, leave. Why are you on you? Why do these accounts pop up? They're so ridiculous. Like, they're all over YouTube. How does YouTube not have the capability? Like, they got all this stuff they can do. They can literally figure out what video goes with what target audience, but they can't figure out how to remove spam accounts. Like, I don't understand. Those spam accounts have been going on for months now, and it's probably ruining a lot of the experiences when people go to live streams and stuff. I just can't believe no one has figured out, or they haven't figured out how to remove some of these spam bots that are going out there. But anyways. All right, so we got a super chat from Chad saying, strap the cab to a catapult, Wile E. Coyote style. The funny thing is, it is Roadrunner, so you kind of... I did not sign the back. No, I did not sign the back. I did put my sticker on the Road Blasters one, though, that has a QR code to the YouTube channel, but I did not sign the back. The Road Blasters will be going out there, too. So I have no idea what I'm going to get for that. That, to me, is a pretty rare and unique piece. I did not want to get rid of it, guys. I did not. I wanted to keep that arcade machine. It's pretty rare. You don't see them very often. But it's super cumbersome, and it's way longer than you'd think. If you could almost probably put, and Nick Madsen can attest to this, you could probably put 3 arcade machines in the length of that thing. So it's that long. It's very cool, though. I'm so bummed getting rid of it because I feel like that's one of those pieces where if I did have an arcade, if I had an arcade or a barcade, I would showcase that somewhere. But it is what it is. All right, $2 super chat from Nick Madsen. Thanks, buddy. Got to get my kid to school. It's all you, Lewis. Okay, so thank you for moderating, bud. I appreciate it. All right, what other things have going on in here? All right, there are always hidden costs when buying from an auction. Yeah, Clax29, totally. Everyone has to just be aware of that. So if you go into any auction, go look at the buyer and seller terms. If you're selling something, look at those. If you're buying something, look at those. Because there are people that are like, oh man, I'm all excited. I want to buy things at auction. They don't realize there's a premium on top of it. And they get kind of disappointed or shocked, which you don't want to get shocked when it comes to money. That's never a good thing. All right. So, Arcade Eric says, I just bought a Stargate and no extra fees, no buyer's premium, only sales tax. Auction was only 2 hours away. That's cool. Yeah. So if you find local auctions, like I don't know where all the auctions are, but there's definitely local ones. There's one here in Arizona called like Gold Pot or Pot of Gold or something like that. But they don't do just arcade machines, but every now and then they will. And so like you can get really good deals on those too. But those are, I think, online auctions only. I'm not 100% sure. I will purchase your Road Blasters for $12,000. Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. So they haven't posted it yet. I don't even know if it's actually showed up yet. But I also shipped it too. I got lazy. I could have drove it there. So there's another caveat to it as well. Like I shouldn't have shipped it. That was stupid. But I didn't want to drive it out there because I was thinking, oh yeah, I could go out there and. It's like, that's not that fun because I was like, oh, I can go out there and then we could spend a day at like Disney or something, Kim and I. And I was like, or the kids. And I'm like, yeah, they're not going to want to drive in a freaking U-Haul to go or like the Jeep with a trailer on it. I don't know. It's just, it wouldn't be very fun. So we'll see. All right. So we're rounding the corner here. I'm going to do voicemails real quick. I did not, I'll admit, guys, I did not have a great night's sleep. I was working on I got lazy. Well, I didn't get lazy, but I had filmed a video on the Robotron restoration, how that's going so far. Because there was actually a lot more work that had to be done to it than I thought. I looked at it and I was like, oh, it doesn't look that bad, blah, blah. And then I was like, crap, there's a lot of stuff that has to get done here. So I filmed a bunch of stuff, and I don't usually do this. So when you guys know I'm usually an on-camera person, so I'm talking about what I'm doing. So it's easier for me. I can turn on the camera and just go. Like I can just think about it in my head and usually do it in a couple takes. But I did it in reverse. I filmed everything and then I basically looked at how I was going to lay out the clips and then recorded my voiceover. And then I was like, I don't even want to do this. This is a nightmare. So I recorded the voiceover and literally dumped like 80 clips. I gave like 80 clips to Mason. I was like, put this together. But I did label all the clips. So like it's the hard work is basically done. Mason just has to put it together. I mean, I shouldn't say hard work. Like that is hard to put that together. I just didn't want to do it. So Mason's gonna finish that today, and then I'll probably put that out tomorrow on the video. It's good. It's a good video, I think. It's a little different than my normal videos because I don't usually show all the details of everything that's going on. But in this, I'm sanding and bottoming and doing all the things that you'd have to do to repair a cabinet. So it'll be fun for other people to watch, I think, that maybe are less familiar with that. Okay, super chat. You could have stored road blasters at Stringercade. Thanks for the super chat, buddy. You don't want to have that in your you don't want it, dude. It's one of those things where it's too cumbersome. The Garage Gamer said, "Did the Nudist Colony leave a voicemail?" They haven't yet. It'd be very interesting if they did. All right, Conti says Robotron looks like it will be sweet. Yeah, I think it'll be really good. It's coming out well so far. I was having a little problem before I disassembled everything there was no audio, but I have to troubleshoot that. So I'll just troubleshoot it after I get it all back together. All right, let's see. Did you get permission from the Nudist Colony to film there? No. Gary Delabate from the Howard Stern says he loves my hoodie. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. All right, and Headshake TV says elbow grease. Yeah, there's a lot of elbow grease happening in that next video. Okay, let's check out the voicemails real quick. I know we got a couple of them. We got to go fast because I got work starting up here in a minute. Sorry if the show, I got a little bit. I don't usually let things frazzle me during the show, but that one account was, I definitely would never condone anyone coming in and doxing someone else, and someone was putting someone's personal information in the chat, and they keep respawning new accounts. It really sucks. And I had to, I kind of got distracted from that because I wanted to make sure that wasn't something that kept going on. But anyway, let's check the voicemails real fast. I'm going to do this, hit that, and we'll see. The first one is from Alex. Let's see what Alex has to say. And it's not playing. All right. Cool. How would things work? All right. Let's try it again.
All right, Ralph, my old mucker. It's Alex here from London in good old Blighty. Just thought I'd give you a bell on the old dog and bone just to see how you are, mate. And all your fans in the US. Big fan of yours. Keep up the good work, son. And might give you another bell in a few days or two just to see how you are, son. All the best. Be lucky.
All right, that is not Stringer. That's actually Alex. That's awesome, man. That's cool. It was just a general, like the show, and that's pretty cool. Appreciate that message, buddy. And thanks for watching the show and supporting it. I appreciate that a lot. All right. That's Paul Hogan. Okay. 300 to film at the Nudist Con. You guys didn't look. Okay, the next one is from Chad. Chad's always leaving voicemails. Yeah, that guy is awesome. I almost want to listen to that one more time. Man, I wish we talked cool like that. We sound lame compared to this. Like, this sounds so cool. See, this is where, like, someone actually likes the show. Must be a spammer. Yeah, right? If I talked like this, it would be awesome to be... See, like, if you went into, like, an American boardroom and talk like this, everyone would be so fascinated that I could just say a bunch of stuff that then it wouldn't even make any sense. And everyone in the... Like, I don't know, people in America are so, like, mesmerized by accents from other countries. It would be so awesome. I could just be like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then they'd be like, oh, man, Ralph's awesome. Yeah, woo, we're going to do what Ralph said. All right, here we go.
All right, Ralph, my old mucker. It's Alex here from London in good old Blighty. Just thought I'd give you a bell on the old dog and bone just to see how you are, mate. And all your fans in the US. Big fan of yours. Keep up the good work, son. And might give you another bell in a few days or two just to see how you are, son. All the best. Be lucky.
Alex, you rock, man. All right. Ralphie says, have you ever tried to contact any UK arcade YouTubers? Yeah, there's one called like Gebs. Can't remember her name, but I watch her, and she actually reached out to me. I think it's Gebs24. So I've watched her for a little while. She reached out to me not that long ago, said, let's do something together. And the thing that interested me about her is she does a lot of Commodore Amiga stuff. And I know that's very niche too, But I love the Commodore. It was like one of my favorite computers, but not the Amiga. I didn't have an Amiga. I had the Commodore 64, and I loved the games on the Commodore 64. So that was like my first true gaming machine would be the Commodore 64. I think I'm trying to think if we had an Atari before that or not. Maybe it was Atari 2600 and then the Commodore 64. I think that would have been the progression of it. But yeah, no, I have. And then I'm also friends with Wicked Gamer. I am actually very close friends with Wicked Gamer and Collector. We used to talk a lot more often during COVID times. It was easier for us because I was less busy with work. But he's a full-time YouTuber, really good friend of mine, nice guy. And I'm trying to get him over to the U.S. at some point to do something. But maybe I'll go there. It'd be pretty interesting to go to the Netherlands. I've never been. Okay. Super chat. Any Spy Hunter cabs in Arizona, gotta have one. When I do see them, they're really expensive. And I kind of shy away from Spy Hunter because I hear nothing but nightmares on keeping Spy Hunters running. I hear they're very, very hard to keep running, and the board set's a little complex. So I kind of shy away from Spy Hunter, and I don't think there's any FPGA solution currently for Spy Hunter. So I hear you. I like the game. It's awesome, but I don't know if I want to go down that path. But I haven't seen one recently. All right. Jason says, I like how the assumption is that anyone with an accent on a voice message is Stringer. That's fun. That is kind of messed up that I thought that. Okay, we got another message here from Bono's Tecmo. Frank Rizzo from Jerky Boys is the best accent. Yeah, I hear you, man. All right, so let's see. We got another super chat from Stringer. The nudist colony had a Commodore 60. I'm not familiar with the Commodore 69. I think you're making that up. I don't think that's an actual... I don't think they made a Commodore 69, but maybe that was like a special release for the nudist colony. I don't know. Okay, the big exclusive says, did Ralph hear about the Ridge Racer full scale that was saved in the UK? The Mazda car and PCBs. I did not hear that, actually. I got to go look at that. If you have that and you could message that to me, that would be awesome. All right, let's go to the last voice message. Oh, there's two more. Sorry, I got to hurry up. One is from Mike Labinski. Let's see what he has to say. And for some reason, it's not playing through my normal means, so I'm going to play it this way.
You know what would be really cool? An episode on an Ikari.
I can already tell you that he's being condescending in the way he's saying this, but okay, I'll hear him out.
It's pretty rare. You know what would be really cool? An episode on an Ikari Warriors 2. I know, it's pretty rare. I don't know if you could really get your hands on one, but those are super cool.
They are cool.
The controls are cool.
They are, Mike.
Really like to see that one. But I know chances are slim and none of getting your hands on one. Thanks anyway, though.
Okay, he's challenging me to find an Ikari Warriors 2. I have an Ikari Warriors 2. It's in storage right now because I couldn't fit it in the garage. But I got rid of Road Blasters and I got rid of NFL Blitz. So I do have a room. So that will be coming. Mike, I know you're being a little condescending here, but Mike, it will be coming and I will be fixing it. So yeah, okay. Got a message from Brandon. It said, I used to love watching John's arcade channel. He has a really nice basement arcade and would do repairs, but he has not posted in a long time. Yeah, John has been MIA for a while, over a year now. I don't know. I've never really gotten contact with him. It'd be really cool if he was still in the hobby. It'd be really cool to do some kind of collaboration with him. I don't know him personally. I don't even know anyone that knows him personally. So I don't know if he'd be into something like that. But I know he's not gone. He does I think it's called The Outsiders. I can't remember. They have a big podcast where he does modern gaming. I know he has a band. He's into a lot of different things. He has an arcade in Massachusetts somewhere, I think. So he's doing a bunch of stuff. I mean, think about it. He did YouTube. He got in on the ground floor when it comes to the popularity of retro arcade gaming. And I don't know, maybe he just got burnt out. I mean, he did it for a lot of years. I want to say it's over 10 years. So, I mean, I'm going on December 18th will be 4 years for me. And sometimes I get burnt out. I told Kim yesterday, I'm like, man, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like how long I can keep doing this. I love it though. That's the thing. And she's like, well, if you love it, keep doing it, obviously. And I do love it. I just don't know, like, time wise. You have to invest a lot of time, and but I love it. Like, I love it. I love that you guys all enjoy it. So it's definitely nothing I'm going to stop soon, but I would be lying if I didn't say you do start to feel the burnout. And I'm only publishing about one video a week, and I'm having more help than before. It just seems I have less time, so I'm kind of cramming videos, so it makes it less fun, and you have to like rush and cram. And then also the weather's nice, so I want to do work on the arcade machine, so I'm doing that now. But it's like, it's really hard to film that because you're like, all right, you get excited. Like, you're in the middle of a restoration project and you're excited, but then you're like, oh crap, it'd be cool if I captured it from this camera angle and that camera angle. So it's one of those things. I want to put out the best possible product that I can with my ability. And sometimes that takes longer than if I were to just turn on the camera and talk, you know? And I don't think it'd be as interesting. Like, I don't think it'd be as interesting if I just turned on the camera and talked. So I try to produce something that's sorry, that doesn't sound right. I try to produce something that's of a high quality, and it's really hard to do that day in and day out. So like when Stringer wanted to do the conference thing, I was like, oh, thank God. Cause that's, or when I have Mason with me doing that, it's so helpful to have someone else filming. Cause when you're filming and doing the work, it's really hard. It's just difficult. It makes the process longer. Something that takes 10 minutes now takes 30 minutes. And you can imagine that cascades over time. Okay. It's just $2 super chat from Stringer. This is in reference to the Commodore 69 that was a special release for nudist colonies only, apparently. I don't know anything about this. He says it's real. He says it was a special release. Then there's another comment here. I guess another person familiar with the Commodore 69. The Commodore 69 was real. Ron Jeremy got the first one. Yeah, that's interesting too. And the Commodore 69 came with only one. You guys, I love you guys. Just take a concept and keep riding with it. Just keep riding with it. Oh, man. All right. What's my favorite fighting game? Well, that's Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. That's my favorite one of all time. Yeah, Arcade. No, it's not called Arcade Outsiders, I don't think, because it's a general show. I don't think it's called Arcade Outsiders. It's called something else, I think. I can't remember. I follow it on Twitter, but it's very popular. He's on like all these different streaming platforms, but I have listened to it before, and it's all like modern gaming stuff. And he does it with a woman. I can't remember her name. I had to help Forrest Gump get into his laptop. He forgot his password. Turns out it was. Okay. Thanks, Carrie. Appreciate you being here. If you haven't, I feel like this is like the thing you have to do. And if another YouTuber, and I like Carrie and I watch Carrie, but I feel like I do this every time. It probably gets annoying. And it sounds like it's like a commercial. I'm like, hey, everybody, that was Carrie Hardy. If you haven't seen Carrie Hardy and you love pinball, go over to his channel, like, comment, subscribe. You're going to love it. Like it is customary to do that. But I feel like when I do it, it sounds like a commercial. So I'm sorry, but definitely go check. If you like pinball, he is my favorite pinball content creator. So maybe he'd be your favorite, but go check him out. If you enjoy pinball, pinball is interesting because I don't really enjoy watching someone stream pinball, but Carrie does a lot of talking about pinball and like weaves in B-roll. I find that interesting. Or he showcases products to help you service and take care of your pinball or do restoration work. So I really enjoy his content. Watching someone play pinball is not as fun to me. It's like some people don't like watching game streams. I don't really like watching pinball streaming, but I like the way he presents his information because he does it. He has a podcast that he's doing now, and he does a lot of like, he showcased materials of how to clean your pinball machine. I bought a couple of the products he said. They worked really well for me when I was cleaning up my play fields and waxing the play field and all that stuff. So taking care of my balls. I'm like, Carrie, how do I take care of my balls, guy? So anyways, that was a really long commercial for Carrie, but go check him out. Man, I love that. I would love the Discovery Channel to pick up Chasing. I would love that. We'll see. I'm just grateful for the things I've been able to do so far. You know what I mean? To have Bob Rose, who was in the chat earlier, reach out to me and say, would you like to be in this movie? Like, that's cool, man. Like, that's not anything I ever expected. Super grateful for that. That's just neat, you know, like that's really cool. So these opportunities that have popped up and because of YouTube have been really pretty awesome. All right, let's see. We have one more. Should I have to burp? Thank you, Rafi. Oh, God, I don't feel good. Oh, shit, it's 8:07. I got to go soon. Okay. I have my team call for work. So I got to go. All right. Carrie says one more thing. What does he say? I forgot to record some of my restoration activities because I'm super focused on the project. Yeah, that's the thing. Like in the video I'm doing right now, I completely didn't film any of the painting process because I was like just too involved in it, and I didn't go back and film it. So anyways, but it's still a great video. I just left out some of the things. I didn't have any voicemails this go around. He didn't. Okay, let me make sure I didn't miss any super chats or any messages. Oh, thanks, dude. I really appreciate that, man. And you did such a great job on the stuff I saw. Like, it's awesome. I just feel, it's just all. I feel grateful for being a part of the experience, and I'm looking forward to helping promote it any way that I can. Don't worry, Ralph. I'll make you famous. Yeah, it's not really about me. I don't know. Maybe it's not about being that. I just enjoy. Put it this way: I really have a lot of passion for what I do. And it would be so cool. I mean, who doesn't want to take what they're passionate about and make that their job? That's like anybody, right? Like if you were someone that restored classic cars and someone said, hey, we'd love to film you restoring classic cars because you have so much passion for it. And we want to take you around to these different conferences and you'll be like our correspondent. I mean, that would be awesome. Like that kind of stuff. Like that's, I thrive on that. I went to school for video production. I always wanted to be in front of a camera. The cool thing about it is I saw this as an opportunity to get in front of the camera and talk about something I love, right? That's the tough thing. I was talking to Mason the other day. I was kind of not complaining, but I was like, man, I just feel like my topic is so niche. It doesn't have, I always used to say niche. I don't know. I always said, I wish it had more reach. Like I wish more people were interested. And maybe I just don't know how to reach those people, or maybe they just don't like me. I don't know. But whatever it is, he's like, well, have you thought about changing the topic? And I'm like, well, no, because I don't want to, if I change the topic to something else that I'm less passionate about, then I'm not being me. And then I'm just doing content for another reason. So I'm going to stay the course because this is what I love, but I just have to be realistic as to like, well, how far can you get with this? Right. Because it's sort of like, anyway, it's fun. But the most passionate product, the Garage Gamer has it 100%. The most passionate the people are really passionate. If I were to change the whole channel and covered just the Commodore 69, which was a very, very rare computer system that was geared toward nudist colonies and apparently, I can't say that. This is the kids watch it, but it was apparently geared toward nudist colonies. That could be, Garage Gamer might be onto something. This could be a whole YouTube channel shift. Plus, the Commodore 69 had some great games. Great games. Chasing nostalgia at the nudist colony will get views. I have no doubt it would. I have no doubt it would. All right. Let's listen to this last voicemail. This is from Chad, and then we got to bust out of here. I didn't realize the time. I'm going to get in trouble here if I keep going.
Hey, Ralph. I was just curious. I was considering buying an arcade one-up, the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 one, and I was wondering how easy are those to put together for like somebody who, owns a screwdriver but doesn't own power tools. I've put together a couple IKEA bookshelves.
You got this, man.
Like just somebody who's like, hey, I remember Pac-Man. I'll buy one of these, kind of thing. Just, your average person, not the experts you have on your show that know what a SanWa button is, or is that a joystick?
The experts.
See, I don't even know.
Chad's,
somebody who flunked shop.
Do you see that? Chad just called you guys all experts.
Class, or should I hire those people that come over and install stuff for you, or should I hunt down Mr. Sip to do it for me, or what do you think? Are they easy for the average person? I assume they are because they're like in Best Buy and stuff. But anyway, how easy are they? I was just curious. Just a question.
Okay, so Chad, who I say this every time too. It's funny because someone made fun of me. They were like, realize every time you bring up your friend Chris, you say Chris, who did Ralph's retrospect. I say that all the time because he did like that. That was awesome. If you haven't seen those episodes, if you want completely different content on my channel, go watch the Ralph's retrospect playlist. It's completely different content. It's not arcade related. It's mostly consoles, NES, some really cool stuff. But anyways, so Chad's question was, how easy is it to build if you have never built an arcade one-up before? The funny thing is, they're actually harder to build now than they used to be when they came out, in my opinion. I think I used to be able to bang those things out like crazy. And now they changed a little bit of the design where you have to kind of line up the side with the rest of the, and this happens a lot with like just general IKEA furniture. It's not like it's hard to do. If you can build IKEA furniture, you can build one. It's just, they changed the process where before the front kick plate used to just slide in. And that was much easier. You just slid the front kick plate in, and the pieces you had to line were very easy. It wasn't that many of them. I think it was 4. It was either 4 or 5. You had like 2 crossbars and then 1 crossbar in the front. I can't remember. The J panel, man. I'd be like, hey, bro, yeah, man, I was struggling with that J panel the other day. Had to Bondo it. No, I don't know. But yeah, no, they're pretty simple to put together. So I have no doubt, Chad, you could definitely do it. That it's pretty general, and you only need a screwdriver. As a matter of fact, they would suggest not to use a screw gun with it. Sometimes you can like torque it down too much and strip things and stuff. But anyways, they're very, very easy to put together. But I would say they're harder to put together now than they used to be. They were easier to put together before. Like they have these weird, I still don't understand it. It must have to be something to do with the box, but now like the side panel has a separate, like 2 metal brackets that connect another piece to make it longer. It's just weird. My guess is that it had to do with how do we maintain the same box size. But anyways, yeah, you could do it, no problem, man. It's super easy. Okay, one more. We got a super chat from Chad. He said, I installed the toilet seat and felt like MacGyver. Yeah, man. Have you ever installed a bidet before? That was next level, man. That was like next level toilet modding. All right. Lewis says the hardest part. Oh, shit. Whoops. Lewis says we had to go, man. I got to go. The hardest part is peeling the film off the CP. Actually, the one thing I will say that is, anyways, we won't need to get into that. Whatever. Thanks for the super chat, Chad. Thanks for the comment, Lewis. Stringer says Retro Ralph's Donkey Kong, a sack full of corners. All right. Thanks for the super chat, Stringer. Okay. Steve says, would you hire someone to build an IKEA cabinet for you? Serious question. I hate building IKEA furniture. So there was a time, so I remember when I was single saying to myself, like a single bachelor, putting together an IKEA dresser, which had like 80 billion parts. And I was like, when I make enough money, I'm going to buy real furniture at a furniture store that gets delivered to me, that I don't have to build anymore. Like I was like so over it because I'd built everything. Like everything in my house was IKEA. Like my bed was IKEA and everything, a bookshelf on the wall, everything was IKEA. So no, I wouldn't hire someone, but I'd probably, I would probably try to save up additional money to buy something I didn't have to build, because I really can't stand building IKEA stuff at this point. I really hate it. I can't do the stream all day, buddy. I wish I could. Wait, what? If you hire us all, then you're already in your meeting? How can I can't, but then I have to pay. How do I get paid? How do I get paid? Well, I would love to hire everybody. I told Mason a long time ago, I was like, dude, if this thing ever blows up, I'm hiring you. Like, you can do side gigs too, but you'd be like, you'd be the main editor. And then if I have enough money, hire Stringer. I don't have enough money. That's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous idea. But yeah, I'd hire a bunch of people. Super chat. Well, yeah, but that's not, I would never look to that as a means of income, but I appreciate when people do it. All right. We bought a 4K IKEA wall length closet. It was like building a factory. Dude, yeah, exactly. Like I can't do that. I cannot do that. I mean, I can, but I don't want to. Hire the guys from the nudist colony. You could sell your house. All right. Anyways, I think that was it. I think that was all we had to cover. I'm sorry. Like, this show might have felt a little disjointed, and I apologize for that. I kind of went into this last night. I was so tired, man. And then this morning the dog threw up. So I was like, I didn't want to cancel the show because it's so easy once you start something, but this is 6. We're 6 in a row. That's pretty cool. We haven't missed one. I had to shift the day a couple times, but I'm trying to make it every Wednesday. So we'll see you again next Wednesday. I can't believe it's getting close to Christmas. I want to do the next episode. I want to really talk about Christmas because, dude, my kids are teenagers now, and buying Christmas gifts is a freaking nightmare now. It used to be easy, just like toys and stuff, right? the last couple of years have been a nightmare. I don't know what to buy these kids anymore. It's like they like weird stuff. I don't remember as a kid ever being into like designer stuff. Like I didn't even care. Just give me clothes. I don't know. Social media ruined everything. It ruined everything. Everyone wants all this fancy stuff. But I didn't want anything fancy. Give me my zippy shoes, which I guess would have been fancy at the time. I don't know. I was giving my tube socks and my stupid shorts and a t-shirt. Let me go play. These kids are like, my son's all, can I have a dirt bike to drive it around the neighborhood? No, to drive it around the neighborhood. No, you can have a dirt bike to drive it like in the dirt. Like if we go trail riding, you can do that. We used to dirt bike. I used to take them. We used to dirt bike. I had a truck. The thing is, dirt bike riding is a complete commitment because then you need a truck. Then you need a gas can and you need a thing to prop up your bike so you can fix it and change the oil all the time because you're not going to bring it to someone to do these tasks because they're simple. You have to replace the fuel filter. You have to make sure it's got gas in it. You have to, it's like, then something breaks or, he falls and it breaks something on the, I had him fall one time. It put a rock hit the crankcase and it leaked oil all over the place. We just got there. Dad, look at me. Crankcase cracked, oil everywhere. I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, I was deflating. Anyways, I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun when we used to go dirt bike riding. I did a lot of dirt bike riding when I lived in California with these crazy people that I met these people at my work that were absolutely insane. I'm gonna leave you with this. Have you ever done a hobby type thing with someone that's really good at it, but they have no self-awareness to know that they're that much better than you or whatever, and they're like, yeah, follow me, and they take off, balls out as fast as they can go in one direction, going up hills. You're like, dude, I'm a novice. Like, what are you doing? Like, my first experience dirt bike riding in California was with people that were like, their mentality was like, go big or go home, brah. And I was like, bro, I'm not trying to die today. Like, I want to ride and come home and be like, I had a really fun time dirt bike riding with my friends. I didn't want to die. It was crazy. We'd be like, blah, 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 blah. The guy's on like wheeling up a hill. I'm like, bro, let me get a little bit better first before you do that. Oh, man. It's crazy, dude. We need to do something. Honestly, all right. You are the post-COVID John's Arcade. Pace yourself as not to get burnt out. You're the best. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Encore's Arcade. I really appreciate that. I'm no John's Arcade, but I do appreciate that. He was next level in what he did. That's for sure. But I definitely appreciate it. That's a very, very kind for you to say that. Yeah, you need exactly, Matt. Like you need your own, and they take up garage space. That is the thing. But like, if you're into dirt bike riding, like it's a thing. It's like being into boating. Like if you're into boating, that's a thing you got to be committed to. Same with dirt bike riding. You have to be committed to it. And I don't know. He wants to drive it around. I don't know. Broken femurs will put a dent in your day. Yeah, man. I seriously, like I had so much fun riding a dirt bike, but now I'm a little bit, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that again. I have back problems, my low back, and it's a whole commitment, man. The thing is, it's going to go into a different place. I can't talk about it right now. Maybe we'll talk about it next stream. But next stream, I want to talk about Christmas gifts. So think about between now and then, number one, leave a voicemail for the show. I want to know, first of all, this could be an interesting episode. I want to know if there's something from your childhood that you absolutely wanted for a Christmas gift and didn't get. Don't put it leave a voicemail if you can. Let's tell me about something and why you wanted it. Something that you're like, man, I wish I got this as a kid and you didn't. Because I have many gifts that I wanted but never got. Or my parents bought me the knockoff version of. I'll tell you one quick one and then I really have to go. I wanted a remote control car, and I don't remember what it was or why I wanted one. But I wanted a remote control car, and I remember seeing like a commercial of one like launching and landing and then kept riding. I was like, man, I want one of those. So I put on my Christmas list, remote control car. This is awesome, right? So I unbox it. I got the remote control car. As a kid, you don't know that the one you got is crappy, right? Like you don't know that yet. You're just a kid. You're just happy to have it. I'm like, they got me a freaking remote control car. This is epic. Best Christmas ever, right? Then I take the remote control car and I was like, well, I want to be like the commercial. So I get it needed like some stupid battery that you don't have a lot of course. And I was like, what do you mean it takes like D? It took like D batteries or what are the ones C's and then D's, right? It took C's. And like the only thing in the house that had C batteries was like some crappy plastic flashlights my parents had. So I aggressively ruined all the flashlights, didn't care, like just, like a kid does, ransack everything, get the C batteries. Cause my mom's like, oh, it takes C's? Oh, Ralphie, I didn't know it took C's. Well, we'll get them on Monday. Monday? No, I want to drive the thing right now. I'm ransacking your flashlights, lady. Went in there, got all the flashlights, put them in. I'm like, yeah, I get this thing. I put it on the coffee table. I'm like, Uncle Joey, check this out, buddy. This is going to be badass. I'm launching it off the table. It launches off the coffee table. It falls. Dude, it like shattered into a million pieces. I was like, my whole Christmas was shattered at that point. Now, I was a very grateful kid. So you don't want to, you have Italian parents. You don't want to be like, you bought me the crappy one. You'd get beat down for that. So I was just like, oh man, like I felt bad that it broke. Like instead I was like, oh man, like it must've been something I did. You feel bad because you don't want your parents to feel bad that they bought the crappy one. And then you don't want them to feel like you're ungrateful. So I was like, oh man, it must've been something I did. I had 411 Positrack Outback, 750 double pump. I put the Edelbrock intakes forward over 30, 290 horsepower, but maybe I miscalculated the gear ratios. I don't know. I have no idea what that just said. That's from Dazed and Confused when Wooderson, where he's like 411 Positrack out. He goes like something like, let me tell you what Melbatos is packing right here, right? We got 411 Positrack Outback, 750 double pumper, Edelbrock intakes, forward over 30, 390 horsepower. We're talking some effing muscle. I think I missed a line there. Yeah, I never did get a BB gun. That would have been cool. Yeah, especially with my name being Ralphie. This is going bad. Okay. What is this? What is the 722 thing? I don't know. Am I missing something? Shit, I gotta go, dude. I appreciate you guys hanging out, but I gotta go. This show's gotta end. Ralph, on the next video, Ralph details experience for filing for unemployment. I know. All right, guys. We gotta leave. I gotta get out of here. I don't know if this is the right song, but I don't care. Thank you, everybody. I got to be better about, in the next show, I'm going to be better about getting to all your chats. I'm not going to have a big topic. I want to make the topic Christmas. So the next show is going to be all about you guys. I want to highlight the chat more. It's hard for me to like tell a story and then also manage the chat. So I want to make sure that everyone's chats are heard. So we'll spend a lot more time on that next time. All right, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining. Be on the lookout for a video tomorrow on this channel. It'll be about the Robotron restoration. It's going really well. So Mason, get to it, my friend. Finish it up, buddy. Don't get distracted. I know you're going to go watch the Mario trailer like 175 times and not edit it. And I'm going to have to bug you. I feel bad when I do that. I'm like, I do these things, right? I do these things where Mason's on to me, though. I'm like, hey, how's it going? Like, but like he knows. He's like, well, what do you mean, how's it going? It's going good. Like, you don't ask me that normally. But that, hey, how's it going is like, so how's that video come? But I don't want to say that because that's annoying. So I find a way to like make small talk, but he's on to me now. It sucks. Now he knows. He knows when I'm asking about the video status. All right. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Clax, I'm definitely going to do that stream. Now, I don't get drunk on that stream. I might get a little buzzed, but I don't get drunk. Well, that one year that hit me like a ton of bricks. That one year that whiskey was like, whoa. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Appreciate you. And I'm sorry, I still haven't fixed the outro, so cover your ears. And we will see you on the next one.